What's up? What's up? Happy Wednesday, y'all. Sewer Dog, welcome in. What's the good word, man? All right. So, for those of you just tuning in, um, they really ramped up the difficulty on this expansion over anything that they've released before. Um, Franzi, welcome in. How are you doing? So, basically, my understanding from everything that I've read and from my personal experience playing it so far, um, is that standard in this is like expert in everything that's come before this. So, we have dropped down to the standard level of the villain for the first time in a long time. But again, like I've seen people saying online that they usually play heroic on previously released stuff, and they're getting stomped by the standard level campaign in this. So we're just gonna try standard and see how it goes, because we certainly got stomped into oblivion by the collector last Monday. So we're gonna see if we can get a little redemption going here. Because yeah, he's got an absolutely insane gimmick that we will get to in a second after I finish the last little bit of setup, which is in campaign mode, they added in these special side schemes. So Gallery of Splendor says hinder 3 per player, which means you put 3 threat per player here when it comes out, and you get 1 victory point for defeating this if you defeat it by the end of the scenario. And when it is defeated, the top card of each player's deck is put into the collection. So it's going to start with 9 threat on it. It doesn't actively do anything bad. We just get a reward if we beat it. So, the collector's gimmick, and I'll go back through the comic book and stuff here in a second, is when any card, player or encounter, would be placed into a discard pile from play, put it face up into the collection instead. So, any allies you play that get defeated, any upgrades, any minions that come out that you defeat, any attachments that you take off of the villain, any of that stuff, they all go into this area called the collection, and if there are at least 5 per player cards in the collection, you lose the game. Once per player per turn, you can either spend 2 resources or exhaust your hero to remove 1 card from the collection. So, at most, you can get 2 cards out of there per turn. And we got absolutely leveled by this guy when we took him on before. Again, that was the expert level of him, so maybe it'll be easier. I don't know. But we're gonna try. I made a couple of tweaks to these decks also, but nothing serious. We're playing Rocket Raccoon as aggression and Groot as justice, so we're gonna see how it goes. So this is our starting hand for Rocket. We've got our particle cannon, which is a good way to start. Got Valkyrie. I've got a plan which lets us thwart. Oh, speaking of which, we start with 8 threat on the main scheme. Seems like a totally fine amount. And it's a one stage scheme also. So if it hits 20, we lose the game. Or if we hit 10 cards in the collection, we lose the game. So, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? I'm just going over the collector here that we lost absolutely, utterly to the last time we tried him. So we've dropped it down to standard instead of expert. And we're going to give it a go. Because everything that I've seen online is that standard in this is as hard as expert is in anything else for this game so far. So, I believe it, because this is the second scenario, and we got utterly demolished. So, could play Helicarrier. Okay, alright. I think we're going to stick with our opening hand here, because we can play Helicarrier and play Particle Cannon. And that feels like a pretty good starting way to start off. Although, We could play an ally instead. Well, we'll see. Anyway, I like his starting hand, so we're going to stick with it. Oh, yeah, and so Rocket Raccoon, he's got a tinkering action on his alter ego where you can discard a tech upgrade to draw 2 cards. And his hero action is called Murdered You. And after you deal any amount of excess damage to an enemy, you draw 1 card. So he wants to kill stuff, and he wants to kill it harder than is strictly necessary. And Groot, in Alter Ego, you can place 2 growth counters on Groot. And in hero form, anytime he takes any amount of damage, you remove that many growth counters from him instead. Which is great, but also a ton of his cards trigger off of having growth counters. So you want to, you want to have them on as long as you can, basically. So, see what we get for Groot here. I mean, Fruition, Vine Shield, Crisis Averted to let us just smack 6 off the main scheme seems pretty good. Alright, so I think we're going to keep Crisis Averted and Fruition. See what else we can get. Like, Flora and Fauna is super good also. It lets you place 2 growth counters on Groot and ready him, or place 2 charge counters on a Rocket Raccoon upgrade and ready that upgrade. So that would let us throw 2 ammo onto our particle cannon, which would be pretty good. Oh boy. Philbo, how are you doing? Got the They Might Be Giants jokes going here. I like it. And Philbo, I think you bailed before we played the Collector last Monday, but we got utterly annihilated by this guy. So we're going to see if we can do a little bit better this time. I think we might keep Flora and Fauna also. Or alternately, just ditch all of this and go for setup cards. That probably is better, actually. I mean, Crisis Averted is good. We're going to keep Fruition and ditch everything else. Well, we didn't get any setup cards. We did get a lot of good, like, attacks and stuff, though, so... that's fine also, I guess. Alright, so... Oh yeah, and I found my first player marker also. Where'd it go? Somewhere over here. Which had been missing in action. So we've dropped the difficulty down to standard, and we're going to see what we can do here. Without having to rebuild these decks entirely, because if this game gets to the point where you have to custom build decks per scenario, like, that's not really what I'm interested in, personally. Alright, so we're going to flip up to Rocket Raccoon here. And we're going to play Helicarrier. We're going to use Helicarrier to play Particle Cannon, which comes in with 2 ammo on it. And we can exhaust this to spend an ammo and deal 4 damage to an enemy with overkill and ranged. So we probably just shoot the Collector directly in the face with it. Start things off with a bang here, because I think we're basically in a race to kill this guy before the collection overflows. So we're going to do what we can. We're also going to thwart for 2 off of the main scheme. Alright, so Groot is going to use his ability to get 2 growth counters, and then we're going to play Fruition to get 2 more growth counters. Root Stomp, I mean, just 5 damage. Alright, so this is what we drew. So we're definitely going to play Crisis Averted to finish thwarting the main scheme. And then, I mean, we can't afford anything else, so that's it, I guess. We'll also thwart for 1 off of this. And that's it. We'll keep 1 Root Stomp because it's a great card. It's 5 damage to an enemy, and if you kill something with it, you get a growth counter. So, all right. See what we draw into for Rocket here. We got a battery pack, we got reload, we got our skeleton, which is great. We got salvage, which is also great. Except I don't think we have any tech upgrades in our discard pile to put on top, but it's still a good card. Power of Aggression, not the best time to draw that, but, you know, what are you going to do? Alright, what's Groot going to get here? We got Deft Focus, we got Sense of Justice, okay, alright. We're getting set up here. At least on Expert, the main scheme really went nuts for us on this guy. So we're gonna try to keep it thwarted down. All right, so the Collector's gonna attack here. I think we're just gonna take it to the face. So it's 1 attack plus. If there are 3 or fewer cards in the collection, put the top card of your deck face up into the collection. Wow. Okay. So he stole a Skilled Strike from us. And we are, and we take 1 damage, and we're 1/10 of the way to losing the game on the collection. And we're gonna get attacked over here. I guess the question is, does Groot block this one? I think Groot will block this one because he's got 3 defense, and there's 3 damage coming in. So, great job, Groot. Now we get some counter cards. The Poison. Attached to your identity. When your turn begins, place 1 poison counter here, then take 1 damage for each poison counter here. Oh boy. Spend 3 resources of different types to discard this card. Any player can do this. Good lord. That's terrible. That's a bad card. Okay. Assault. The villain attacks you. Well, great. So 2 damage coming in, so we lose 2 growth counters. I was trying to save my growth counters, but that's fine. First player comes over here. And we're going to play Deft Focus and Sense of Justice. And then we're going to use Helicarrier and Sense of Justice. Oh, speaking of which, we should have added 2 threats to the main scheme, and I forgot. To play for Justice, to remove 4 threat from this gallery thing. Try to get some, ooh, we actually don't even, oh, never mind. Right, okay. So this generates 1 resource for superpowers. Unfortunately, for Justice is not a superpower, so. But if we can get rid of that, that'll get us some points to buy an upgrade card with, which is nice. So, what's our boy Rocket got? First off, he's going to take 1 damage from this poison, which is not ideal. I'll just say that. It's not ideal. So, I mean, we can just get rid of the poison. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. God, that's terrible. We're going to get rid of the poison. Because I feel like we can't take that damage every round. Like, that would add up real fast. Which makes this worse. We're actually going to do that. We're going to do these things in a different order. So when we spend salvage, we can put this battery pack back on top of our deck. And we're going to play our cybernetic skeleton, which gives us +3 hit points and +1 attack. So we're up to 10. And I think we're going to tap to get a card back out of the collection, because I feel like we need to stay on top of that at all costs. And we're also going to shoot the collector in the face for 4 damage, down to 18. Alright, well, we didn't draw any allies or anything, so not looking great on the defense front here. What's Rocket drawing into here? Safeguard. Alright, so Safeguard is the upgrade that we bought for him. It costs 5 victory points, and it gives 2 characters tough status cards, and then we get to draw a card. It's extremely good. Groot's one, I actually switched it out after the last game that we played, because I didn't really like the one that we took for him. It's basically a triple resource card. So this is a pretty good hand. Pretty good hand. Okay. What's Groot drawn into here? Under Surveillance, Vine Spikes, Crisis Averted, Wiccan. Okay. Alright. I am Groot. Remove threat from a scheme equal to the number of growth counters on Groot. So, like, you cap out at 10. So, if you can get 10 on there, this card's great. If you've got, like, 4 on you, it's not great. So, I feel like it's going to average out to being just alright. Oh, and you know what? I think we're actually going to flip down with Groot while I'm thinking about it. And get 2 more growth counters, because we've got the main scheme under control, and we'd like to get growth counters stacked up on him if at all possible. Alright, so which means he gets to draw 1 more card. He drew 4 Justice. Okay. Fine Spikes for Justice, Under Surveillance. Some pretty good stuff going on there. Okay. So, we get 2 threat on the main scheme. The collector is going to scheme over here for 2, 3. After this activation ends, reveal this card. Okay. So he schemes for 3, and then he gets this biogram image put on him. When the collector would take any amount of damage, put this card face up into the collection and prevent all of that damage, then place threat on the main scheme equal to the amount of damage prevented this way. Wow, okay. Nasty. This guy has nasty tricks. Then he's going to attack over here, and I think we just take it to the face. I mean, we've only got 1 damage, or 1 defense anyway, so we're not going to be able to do much about it. So it's 1, 2 damage coming in. He's got a really good healing card in his deck, so even if we get beat up a little bit, we should be able to heal out from under it. Now we get some encounter cards. The Badoon Headhunter shows up. Alright, so this guy's going to come at you in every scenario of the campaign, and every time you beat this guy, in the next scenario, you put worse encounter cards into the encounter deck, because he gets madder and madder at you for beating him. Like, he's not the worst. You get 2 victory points when you beat him. So, you know, he's just annoying and he always shows up. And a Servant Bot has Guard and Patrol. Alright, so Guard we know. Patrol is new. While this minion is engaged with you, you cannot thwart the main scheme. So, alright. Not too bad. First player comes over here. And we're definitely going to play Safeguard, first off. Give 2 friendlies a tough status... 2 friendly characters a tough status card, draw 1 card. So we draw into a Genius, and we get Tough. Oh boy. Alright, let me... handle this cat situation real quick. Got a little Nugget cameo going on here, y'all. he does like to come in here. Nugget, what you doing, buddy? Hey, what you doing? What you doing, Nug boy? Oh boy. What he's doing is destroying everything. So that's cool. Thanks for that, bro. We're back. We're back, and we have to fix the table a little bit. I've got a felt tablecloth on this table, and it's not bad when he comes in here usually until he grabs the tablecloth. So let's see if we can't recreate this a little bit. Our main man Nugget. Okay. Get things back where they should be here. Give me just a second. Oh, me. Okay. Barely an inconvenience. Yeah, no problem. I mean, at least he's cute, right? At least he's cute. Okay. I think that is more or less where things should be. Hopefully. Oh, now you can't see any of the life counters. So I think we slid everything down a little bit. Hold on. And are we still off screen here? Hold on. All right. Is that... no. Man, he really did a number on this, huh? Yeah, it's hard to see the way my screen is set up. It's hard for me to actually see where it cuts off. So, hold on. Oh boy. Yeah. This is exactly why I usually try to keep them out of here. Again, I don't mind if he's in here. If he wouldn't do, exactly what he just did. But it is apparently his favorite thing to do. So, all right. I think we're more or less back on camera. Slide this up a little bit here. Maybe. Look at that, y'all. We're back. Okay. So, sorry about the nugget related delay here. Okay. I was in the middle of doing some amount of things. Let me see if I can recreate in my brain what we are doing. Rocket Raccoon was about to take a turn. That was the main thing that was happening. We've got one card in the collection, so It's not too bad. We haven't found any allies yet. So I think the first thing we're going to do is use our helicarrier to play. Before we do that, we're going to hold on. Right. Okay. We're going to play. Ooh. Okay. Awkward. This turn's awkward. That's fine, though. Okay. We need to kill this guy, and then we need to do a minimal amount of damage to the collector to take his stupid shield thing off. So... Oh, yeah, this is perfect. Okay, this is perfect. We're going to start off by playing our... Oh, hold on. Hold on. I lost my... I lost my discard pile for Rocket Raccoon. Did I drop it on the floor and I'm just not seeing it? Oh my goodness. Okay. Give me 1 second. I've run into more Nugget-related things that I did not notice the first time. So, I will be right back, you guys. Alright, easy fix. I found the cards that got knocked on the floor. And we're actually back in action now. So, we're going to start off by playing Battery Pack. We're going to use Battery Pack to put more ammo on Particle Cannon. And then we're going to use Particle Cannon to kill this Servant Bot. It does 4 damage and it's got Overkill. So that kills this guy, who goes into the collection. It does 1 damage to the Collector, which gets rid of this and puts 1 threat on the main scheme. Okay, now we're going to use our Helicarrier to play Flora and Fauna, to place 2 charge counters on our Particle Cannon, and ready it. Then we're going to shoot the Collector with it for 4 damage, down to 14. And then we're going to thwart for 2 and play I've Got a Plan to ready ourselves. So that thwarts 2 off the main scheme. And then we ready ourselves and we use our second activation to take this Servant Bot back out of the collection. See if we can't stay on top of the collection this time around. Because it got really bad the first time around. Also, we get to draw a card because we did excess damage. We drew a card that is irrelevant to our current needs, so we discard it. Easy enough. Over to Groot. What's our man Groot got going on? Ooh, actually, hold on. We would have drawn this card earlier. So instead, we play... I've Got a Plan. Yeah, alright, so we use this Relentless Assault to play for I've Got a Plan, which readies us. and gives us +1 thwart. And then we pay these 2 resources instead of overpaying for I've Got a Plan to get Servant Bot out of the collection. And then we can still thwart for 3. Then we'll thwart for 3 off of this Gallery of Splendor. All right. So Groot's going to start off by getting 2 growth counters and then flipping to hero form. Then we're going to play growth spikes using deft focus. Growth spikes, or vine spikes, says when Groot makes a basic attack, remove 1 growth counter from him and exhaust vine spikes to get +2 for that attack. So we'll do that and put 4 damage on this Badoon Headhunter. And then probably we're going to play Crisis Averted, right? 2. Yeah, we're going to use Sense of Justice. Oh, and he's tapped because we attacked with him. We use Sense of Justice and 2 cards of some kind or another to play Crisis Averted to take 6 threat off the main scheme. Get out of here. And then we've got 2 cards left in hand that we can't play, which is unfortunate. But we'll probably keep Under Surveillance at least. Well, maybe we'll keep both. I don't know. Wiccan's really good too. And I guess the question now is, do we want Rocket to flip down? And I think the answer is yes. We're going to have Rocket have flipped down, because that way he can discard this battery pack to draw 2 cards. Alright, so we get 2 threat on the main scheme. The collector schemes over here for 2, plus this psionic ghost shows up. When he is revealed, we are confused. Okay. We're tough and confused. That's my MO in life. Alright. And then this guy also schemes. So it's 2, 4 threat coming in on the main scheme. And then the collector attacks over here. I guess we should have drawn our hands. Speaking of which. So let me do that real quick. Couple of pistols. I don't know that we care about. Dropkick is always nice. Except we don't have the fists to make it trigger. Combat training is good. Yeah. I mean, we can get Wasp out with a whole bunch of hit points. So honestly, probably we just do that. Okay, anyway. And we draw cards for Groot also. We're going to keep Under Surveillance, and then we drew Entangling Vines when we make a basic thwart action. So that's the same thing as Vine Spikes, but for thwarting. Root Stomp will let him kill this guy, which is nice. All right. Pretty nice stuff all around. Okay, so the collector's going to attack over here for 1. Oh, another Sonic Ghost shows up. Not ideal. So it's 1 damage coming in, which gets rid of our tough. Which is super annoying because now this guy attacks for 2. And this guy attacks, and he's got Villainous. So it's 1, 2, and he gets another boost card. And another Sonic Ghost shows up. Good night. Okay, so, right. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage coming in. So we lose all of our growth counters and take 1 actual damage. And we found some minions, which is great. Oh, does the revealed effect doesn't trigger when they come in as a boost? That makes sense. All right, so we lose all these confuses, and we get 1 health back over here. We found some ghosts, as it turns out. Now we get some encounter cards. Vandarian Power Wand. Attached to the enemy with the lowest scheme. And it gives us +1 encounter card in the future. Okay. Also, a Star Shark shows up. Good night. We found some minions. This guy does 3 damage, and he's got Quick Strike. And it deals indirect damage, so you can't even chump block the full 3 damage. But thankfully, we're in Alter Ego mode, so we care less about it. We did find infinity minions, though, so we got some work ahead of us. This comes over here. Groot says, "Where did my growth counters go, though?" So we're going to start out by putting under surveillance on the Grand Collection here. This is also where the collection gets super nasty, because when we kill all these guys, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards going into the collection. And there's already 2 in there. So, like, you know, it's just nasty. Alright, so this is what we got left here. And I think we're going to play... I mean, we don't want I Am Groot for sure. With 0. Alright. We're going to Root Stomp. Using Vine Spikes. To do 5 damage to an enemy. If it defeats the enemy, place 1 growth counter here. So we're going to kill this Psionic Ghost, which gets us a growth counter. And then we're going to attack for 2. That's not... Sorry, I tapped the wrong thing. Deft Focus. We're going to attack for 2 and add 2 to it to kill this Badoon Headhunter also. And he actually doesn't go into the collection because he's a victory point card. So... it's not quite as bad as it could have been, but it's still not great. And over to... And I think he's probably going to flip down. Yeah, he's going to flip down also. Get a couple of growth counters. We got to stay on top of the growth counters if we can. Okay, so Rocket is going to use Battery Pack to put that on Particle Cannon, and then he's going to use Tinkering to discard Battery Pack and draw 2 cards. We drew Tigra and Reload. Okay. Now we're going to flip up. And... Oof. We don't have any fists to pay for Dropkick. We do have... Alright. We do have a bunch of... To a max of 3. Okay. So we're going to get Wasp out here with 3 hit points, first off. Okay. Then we're going to use Particle Cannon to kill this ghost. And we're going to use Helicarrier to pay for Reload to ready our Particle Cannon. And then we're going to kill this ghost with Particle Cannon. Dev welcome in. How are you doing tonight? I'm not sure if you were here on Monday or not, but we dropped the difficulty down to standard because we got absolutely demolished on expert. And I've heard people say that the campaign of this on standard is as hard as anything else they've released in expert. So, do we play Tigra or do we play combat training? These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. 5. That'd be 5, 6, 7. I mean, we can kill the Star Shark if we play Tigra. So probably we play Tigra. Get Tigra out here. And then it's attack, attack, attack for 7 damage to kill this Star Shark. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are currently 8 guards in the collection. So that seems totally fine. Like a totally fine amount of cards. And definitely not like we're about to lose the game because of cards in the collection. So we need to go a couple of turns without putting cards into the collection, I guess, is what needs to happen here. So we can get out from under it. But we'll see if we can make that happen. Alright, Groot has drawn into Fruition, Ironheart, For Justice, Energy, okay. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff all around. What's Rocket got going on here? We got Bug, we got Spider Girl, we got Thruster Boots, giving him +1 thwart. Salvage is always nice. Okay. Alright. So, we're going to get 2 threat on the main scheme, putting it at 8 of 24. Collector is going to scheme over here for 2, 3. Putting us at 11 out of 24. Collector is going to attack over here for 2 damage. Taking this tough off of here. Now we're going to get some counter cards. Over here, we get the Beyonder's Blazer. And over here, we get the Magical Teapot. Okay. The Beyonder's Blazer, this, I forget the name of this new icon, but every time you count boost icons, that increases it by 1. As a hero action, place 2 threat on the main scheme and spend 2 resources of the same type to discard this card. Woof. Okay. And this comes in with 7 threats. And says, the player who defeated this scheme may heal 4 damage from their identity. I mean, that's good. It's also a victory point card, so it doesn't go into the collection. So that's nice. So first player comes over here. And, like, before we do anything, we're going to definitely exhaust to get a card out of the collection. Because we're still at 7. I mean, Groot's definitely going to do that also. And I think we're going to pay 2 to get Martial Prowess into play. Which also lets us put our battery pack back on top of our deck. And do we play Bug also? I guess the question is, do we play Bug or do we play Thruster Boots? I think we're going to play Bug. He's a new ally that says, after your hero makes a basic attack, heal 1 damage from Bug. So he can stay around forever, which is nice in this particular scenario. We're going to attack for 6. I think. Or we could thwart for 3. Do we thwart for 3 instead? What do we have here? For Justice, Fruition. I think we're gonna thwart for 3 instead off of this. Leaving 4 on there. Groot is gonna get 2 growth counters. And then he's going to flip. And what do we got here? I mean, we're going to play Fruition, definitely, to get 2 growth counters. Putting us at 6. And I think we're going to use Deft Focus to get Entangling Vines out here. And then play for Justice, maybe? Oof. I don't know. If y'all give me 1 second. Gotta run to the facilities here, and I'll be right back, you guys. Right. We're back. We're back, and I feel like this is certainly going better than it did last time. We'll see if that carries through. What are we doing with this? Do we pay 2? Yeah, I feel like we probably pay 2 to get a card out of the collection, just because it's, I mean, that's still at 6, and I think when we flip to stage 2, we have to both put something in there. So, and then we can, I mean, we can get rid of that blazer, I guess. Do we care about doing that? We probably do. And yet, maybe we don't. We're going to play for Justice and kill this side scheme right here. I was going to try to get away, figure out a way to have Rocket do that so he could heal. But I just want to get rid of it instead. And then I think we're just going to attack for 4. Okay, so we're going to ready up. Draw some cards. Hey, there's our healing card. Okay. We got follow through also, which I put back into this deck just because I just want it to work. I think it's actually a bad card, but I just want it to work. Dropkick once again with not enough fists to make it work. Battery pack. Yeah, this heals you for 2 every time you do any amount of damage to an enemy. So, alright. What's Groot drawn into here? Alright, so Sure Gamble is his upgrade card. It says, reduce the resource cost of the next card played this phase by 3. So, that just lets us play Mockingbird for free, basically. Which I'm a big fan of. Alright, so we're going to get 2 threat on the main scheme. The Collector is going to attack over here. I think we're just going to take it to the face. So it's 1, 2 damage coming in. We can deal with 2 damage, no problem. And the Collector's going to attack over here. Equal to the number of growth counters on Groot. Okay. Do we block this one, I guess, is the question. Because I'd like to keep his growth counters, basically. But I don't know. 2, 3. There's 6 cards in the collection now. So when we kill this Gallery of Splendor, it's going to put 2 cards into the collection, which is a real bummer. Because we're already at 6, you know? So I feel like we just need to focus fire this guy and put damage on him, if at all possible. I think we are going to defend with Groot. So it's 1. Sonic Ghost shows up. Great. So 1, 2. We block that, and then we take 2 from the Sonic Ghost. So, not ideal. Those ghosts are very annoying. Then we get some encounter cards. Assault. The villain attacks you. Cool. And also, well, we'll do that one in a second. So, again, we're just going to take it to the face. It'll be fine. 1, 2 damage coming in. And over here, Philosopher's Stone comes in with 7. And it's another Amplify, I think they call that. When you defeat it, you get to draw 2 cards. So, but so we're at +2 boost icons every time we count boost icons now. So that's cool. Alright, well our I Am Groot got a lot worse, which is super annoying, actually. So we're going to use Sure Gamble, definitely, to play Mockingbird. And stun the villain. And then I think we're going to pay 2 resources. Actually, we're going to use Mockingbird to thwart this right here. Which is going to put these 2 cards into the collection. We Are Groot. Oh, man. That's a very annoying one to lose. We're going to spend 2 resources to get that back out of the collection. Although it's very annoying that we didn't get to play that because it gives us a bunch of tough status cards. Alright. So, then we're going to use Sense of Justice. Sense of Justice. To play multitasking and remove 2 threat from 2 different schemes. Alright. All right. Okay, so we need to play Schadenfreude, definitely. Because we need to heal some. We got kind of beat up. Oh, goodness. Nugget's back. I'm trying to keep the door open up here because it's very hot upstairs. But that does make it pretty easy for Nugget to just roll in here when he wants to. Nugget, what are you doing? Why you gotta do this, buddy? Why must you do, Nugget? Let me... Yeah, I mean, we're certainly holding it down better than we did last time. It was savage last time. Give me 1 second, y'all. Don't... No. Nope. Oh, my God. Okay, come on. Very annoying. Again, if you would just come in here and chill out, it would be fine. But chilling out is not in the cards with my boy Nugget. Okay, where were we? Rocket Raccoon was getting ready to do stuff. That's what we were doing. All right, so we're going to Helicarrier and play Schadenfreude. Shields us for 2 every time we deal damage to an enemy this turn. And then we're going to attack this Psionic Ghost for 2. Healing ourselves for 2 in the process. Up to 6. And then we're going to use Martial Prowess to play, and pay Dropkick to play Relentless Assault to deal 5 damage to this guy with Overkill. So it does 3 damage to the boss. He's down to 7. Oh, and this goes here, annoyingly. Louis is around. He doesn't... Oh, and that lets us draw a card also. We've got 2 battery packs, which would be great. I would love to play one. But instead, we're going to pay 2. To get a card out of the collection. Which I believe leaves us with 8 in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at 7, so that's a lot. And then we're going to Particle Cannon to heal ourselves for 2 more and do 4 damage to the boss, down to 3 hit points. Yeah, Louis around. He doesn't really get in here like that, though. So we need a turn of, like, no minions, basically, so we can get the collection a little bit more under control. We'll see if that happens. It certainly has not been happening so far. Because I've got all these allies out here, but, like, they're all at 0 hit points, so... Or they're all at 1 hit point, rather. So I don't want to use them because that would make us lose the game basically right away. So we're going to get 2 threat on the main scheme. Oh, also, I think... Do we want to have Rocket flip down? No, he doesn't have any reason to. No, that's fine. We could have Groot flip down. Yeah, we'll have Groot flip down last turn. See if we can't stack a bunch of growth counters on him. So. Let's see what we get here. we are going to get one encounter card for shuffling Groot's deck. We drew Fertile Ground, which is what we've been looking for basically the entire game. Lashing Vines lets you ready Groot. Counterintelligence, Heroic Intuition. Okay. Not too bad. What's Rocket got? Avengers Mansion, his rocket launcher we finally found. Brawn, Dropkick. Alright. I mean, we could Dropkick. Oh, anyway. Let's see what we get for this villain phase. I put the threat on the main scheme already. Collector's going to attack or scheme over here for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No problem. No problem. A totally fine amount. A totally fine amount. We're at 19, so that's cool. That's cool. 19 seems like a good amount to be at. 24 is the 24 is the where we lose. So Filbo, each hero has a alter ego and a hero form. Alter ego, you can heal hit points, and they have a power here that does something. Groot's lets him put growth counters on. While you're in alter ego form, the villain schemes to put threat on the main scheme instead of attacking you. So if you've got the threat on the main scheme under control, you can flip down, or if you like need to heal very badly. But we're just trying to stack growth counters on him, basically. The collector attacks over here, but instead becomes unstunned. We get some encounter cards. And we need no minions. What do you say, game? What do you say, no minions? View the Cosmos. Choose one. Put the highest cost card from your hand face up into the collection, or discard the highest cost card from your hand and place that much threat on the main scheme. Could I choose neither of those? What's Groot's highest cost card? 2, huh? I mean, we could put 2 on the main scheme. We could put 2 on the main scheme, which I think we basically have to do, because if we keep putting stuff into the collection, we're never going to be able to flip to stage 2 here. So that sucks. Also, a Star Shark shows up, does 3 damage. It actually doesn't do any damage because we're an alter ego. Great. Alright, now this happens also. Advance. The villain schemes. Okay, well, I think we just lost the game. It's 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we lost the game. Did we lose the game? Hold on. 26. Yes. We're 2 over. Oy. Okay. So having to put minions in the collection is savage. We're going to shuffle this up and go again, because I felt like that one was going all right. I feel like it was like winnable, you know, but yeah, having to put minions into the collection is brutal. I don't know if I should take all these allies out of my deck or what. I just don't know. I don't know what to do against this guy. He's incredibly hard. He's hard in a crazy way that, like, no one has been hard before. Like, he changes fundamental stuff about the game, which is neat, but also it's very, very hard to deal with. Alright, so we're going to start with 8 threat on the main scheme. We're going to start with 9 threat on this. Let me shuffle up the encounter deck here. And let's see if we can... I mean, we basically got him to stage 2. We had not flipped him yet because there were too many cards in the collection, right? So he starts with 26. And yeah, the fact that you can only take 2 cards out of the collection per turn is brutal. Because, you know, if you draw... Like you saw, we drew like 5 minions that one turn. And like... You got to deal with the minions, you know? Or maybe you just ignore all the minions and punch the collector in the face. And say, who cares about minions? I honestly don't know. If I knew, maybe I would have won this already. But, as you can see, we have not done that. All right. Maybe we can spread the minions out a little bit this time, you know, instead of drawing like 4 ghosts back to back to back to back to back. What do you say, game? I don't know. We'll see. Shuffle that up. Set our starting hit points back. Shuffle our hero decks up. And, you know, that was much less of a blowout, but it's still, like, this is still a super tough encounter, even on standard, which is, like, you know, what I was saying. Standard in this is, like, expert in anything before Galaxy's Most Wanted. It's just super hard. I think we got lucky when we beat Drang, because, you know, if we only flipped 2 minions when you have to flip 8 cards off, and if we had flipped like 7 minions instead, it would have gone way worse for us. Alright, shuffle a Groot stack here. It's a shame. I feel like we were pretty well set up, too. Like, I don't know if I probably just shouldn't have flipped down with Groot there. But I was trying to stack up growth counters so we could do like a 10 damage I am Groot or something to really put some hurting on, you know. But I guess I just got greedy. I got greedy, you know. All right. But again, we made progress, so... Wow. This is a super, super awkward starting hand. Because these salvages let you put a tech upgrade on top of your deck, right? But we don't have a discard pile. We could... I mean, well, it's just super awkward. So I think we're going to save that, maybe? Because when we salvage now, we'll get our rocket launcher back on top of our deck. Again, this is just a very awkward opening hand. But we can get Martial Prowess out, and Battery Pack, and Flora and Fauna, so... Alright. What's Groot got going on? No setup cards. So... We are Groot. Give us each a tough status card. Alright, so... We're going to ditch these 3. Fruition, Lashing Vines, and Quake. Okay. Alright, we can deal with these things. Alright, so Rocket Raccoon is going to start off by paying 2 to play Martial Prowess. Which lets him put his rocket launcher back on top of the deck. We're going to pay 2 for Flora and Fauna to put 2 growth counters on Groot. And we'll pay 1 to get Battery Pack out here. Then we'll flip and thwart for 2 off the main scheme, I guess. Alright, so Groot's going to get 2 growth counters. Then we're going to play 2 Fruitions for 4 more growth counters. We're at 8 growth counters. We're going to flip. We're going to pay 2 for We Are Groot to remove 2 growth counters and put 2 tough status cards out here and here. And then we're going to play Lashing Vines, which lets us ready Groot at the low cost of 2 growth counters. And then I think we just punch him for 2. And call it a day. Alright. What do y'all think? You think we'll get it this time? I don't know. I might have to like legit rebuild our decks with no minions in them. And that just feels super awkward to have to do to beat a scenario, you know? I mean, Avengers Mansion is great. Not getting Rocket Launcher out feels bad. Yeah, I don't know. What's Groot got? Fertile Ground is great. Crisis Averted. Probably Crisis Averted into and then Fertile Ground, right? Because then you can flip down and get a card and 3 growth counters, or 2 extra growth counters and 2 extra cards, basically. So, yeah, okay, anyway. We get 2 threat on the main scheme. The Collector attacks over here for 1, 2 damage, pinging this tough off. He attacks over here for 1, 2, 3 damage, pinging this tough off. Get some counter cards. Servant Bot shows up. Okay. Can deal with the Servant Bot, no problem. This one. The Badoon Headhunter also shows up. Okay. I don't think this had 6 on it, so this should be at 8. I don't know what I did there, but I did something wrong. Should be back at 8. Okay. This comes over here. What's Groot got? I mean, he doesn't have any way to deal with the Badoon Headhunter right now, so it is what it is on that one. We're going to pay 3 to play Crisis Averted and take 6 threat off the main scheme, leaving 2. We're going to attack for 2 against this Badoon Headhunter, I guess. Then we're going to flip down, get 2 growth counters, and play Fertile Ground, which we can tap to draw a card. We drew Heroic Intuition, and get a growth counter. So we're going to be at max growth counters. So In light of that, before we flip down, we're going to use Lashing Vines to spend 2 growth counters and do 2 more damage to this Badoon Headhunter. Actually, we'll do 2 here and 2 here. That works. All right. That all makes more sense, because now we'll be at 10 when we flip up. So, feels like a good amount. Okay, over to Rocket. And I mean, we're definitely going to play our rocket launcher. Comes in with 2 ammo on it. We'll use it to do 2 damage to this servant bot, which draws us a card. We drew thruster boots. And then we'll put another charge on that with our battery pack. This guy dies. And it does 2 to the villain also. Right. And then... Awkward. +1 thwart. Feels like it'll be good eventually. Alright, so we're actually gonna thwart for 2 here. And then we're going to play, I've got a plan to ready and give ourselves +1 thwart. And then we're going to use that thwart to get this card out of the collection. Try to stay on top of that. I mean, I said that last time too, but you see how that worked out for us. So we're going to ready everything up here. I guess the question is, do we keep thruster boots? I mean, +1 thwart is nice, but I feel like that's not what we do. Got a battery pack, got Hulk ally. Block a couple attacks with him is nice. Yeah, okay. Annoyingly, they announced the Agent Venom hero pack, just coming out after Drax. And he's got a card in there, which is a basic upgrade that lets you hold 1 more restricted weapon, because normally you can only have 2. And it's like, Rocket Raccoon has 4 in his deck. Like, why would you not have put that card into Rocket's deck, you know? I kind of want to just proxy it and play with it anyway. But, you know, whatever. Okay. We get 2 threat on the main scheme. The collector schemes over here for 2. The Sonic Ghost shows up. So 2, 4, 5, 6. Putting us at 9. And then the collector attacks over here, and I think we just take it to the face. It'll be fine. For 1 damage. It was fine. Oh yeah, here we go. I am Groot with 10 growth counters. Feels correct. And Root Stomp. Oh man, we got a incredible stuff going on here. Okay. Now we get some encounter cards. Obedience Potion. Attached to your identity, attached character gets -1 to all of their stats. Take 1 damage and spend 2 mental resources to discard this card. Jeez. Okay. Rough, man. And over here, view the cosmos. I remember this. So we have to lose the most expensive card out of our hand. Just Hulk ally. Super annoying. And that puts 2 threat on the main scheme. Super annoying. that card. Okay. First player comes over here. And our turn got worse since we lost that card. I think we're just going to play a battery pack. We'll shoot these guys for 2 damage each. Plus 2 damage to the villain. We use this battery pack to put another charge on there. And then I think we thwart for 2. And then play I've Got a Plan to ready and thwart for 3. Alright. Annoying. Alright, so we're going to use 2... Before we do that, what we're going to do first is exhaust this to get a growth counter and draw a card. To counter intelligence. Then we're going to get 2 growth counters. We're at 10 growth counters. Feels like the correct amount of growth counters. Especially when you have I Am Groot in hand. So we're going to flip up. And we're certainly going to play I Am Groot. To do 10 damage to the collector, straight to the face. Feels good. We're also going to play Root Stomp to deal 5 damage to an enemy. Alright, before we do that, we're going to pay 2 mental resources and take 1 damage, which gets rid of 1 growth counter. 2, discard this card. Goes into the collection. Now, we're going to pay 2 to play Root Stomp to deal 5 damage to this Headhunter and get ourselves a growth counter. Now we're going to attack for 2 and kill this Sonic Ghost. Goes into the collection. We're going to use Lashing Vines to spend 2 growth counters to ready ourselves. And then we're going to get this Obedience Potion out of the collection. Okay. I guess the question is, do we have Rocket flip down now? Because he's got a battery pack to get rid of, which will get him extra cards. And I feel like he needs some setup cards, basically. So we'll do that. The main scheme isn't super bad right now, so we'll flip down. Do we keep Sense of Justice? We will keep Sense of Justice. Do we keep Sense of Justice? I would love to play it. I just feel like it's like if we draw thwarting events or something instead, I feel like those will be better. Whatever. We'll keep it. I mean, we did draw thwarting events. Entangling Vines plus 2 thwart. All right. What's Rocket got? We got our skeleton. We got follow through. I mean, will we actually play follow through this time? Incredible. Incredible if we do. Reload is great, but I don't know that I care about using my rocket launcher to do it, Especially like if I just have my rocket launcher. If I had a rocket launcher and my particle cannon, I mean, that would be a way better proposition, right? Still, though, not a bad hand. Alright, so we get 2 threat on the main scheme. Putting it at 8. 8 out of 20. The collector scheme's over here for 4, putting us at 11 out of 20. Alright. The collector attacks over here. Do we block it? Do we block it? I mean, we don't have any of his good upgrades out, so we will block it. For 1, if there are 3 or fewer cards in the collection, put the top card of your deck face up into the collection. Boo, Mockingbird. Okay, annoying. So we blocked our 1 damage. It's fine. Now we get some counter cards. Over here we get the Crystal Ball, and over here we get an Inconspicuous Box. Okay, so this comes in with 7 on it. The player who defeated this scheme may play a card from their hand, reducing its resource cost by 3. I mean, that seems super good. Inconspicuous Box. When revealed, put the lowest cost card in the lowest cost. Try that again. The lowest cost card you control face up into the collection. Well, that's annoying. I guess it's going to be Lashing Vines. God, that's annoying. Yeah. All right. So we've got 3 cards in the collection currently. Oh, I should not have. All right, you know what? We're going to do Fertile Ground instead. Keep Lashing Vines out. That way we can have used... Oh no, we can still do it. It's fine. Because we use Lashing Vines after he defends to spend 2 growth counters and ready ourselves. There we go. And we keep Fertile Ground. Okay. All right. Play. So now we can tap to get a card out of the collection. And then I think we're going to play Sense of Justice and use Sense of Justice and For Justice to thwart 4 off the main scheme. Putting it at 7. Alright, so Rocket is going to discard this battery pack to draw 2 cards, drawing Relentless Assault and Tigra. Okay. Then he's going to flip. This is an awkward hand. We're going to use 2 to play our Cybernetic Skeleton, giving us 3 hit points, up to 11. 12 is our max. Do we actually play Follow Through? I mean, if we're ever going to play it, it's now, right? We're going to play Follow Through, which says when your hero's attack deals any amount of excess damage, increase that amount by 1. So that's going to make any overkill we do better. And then I think we just attack for 2? Question mark, or do we thwart for 2? Let's thwart for 2 off of this Crystal Ball. And then this is what we got left. So we probably Rocket Launcher to do 2 damage to the collector, which feels terrible. And then we'll battery pack another charge on there. And I mean, we got Bug and Reload left, which we don't care about. Oh, we do care about. Because we can pay those 2 resources to get a card out of the collection. That's what I was forgetting. Okay, so do we want Groot to flip down here? I don't think we do yet. Yep, don't think we do yet. There's our particle cannon. All right. And for Groot, I am Groot. Wow, a bunch of I am Groots. 3 for 6 is not bad, actually. Especially when that'll kill this crystal ball. Ooh, yeah, okay. That works very well, actually. Yeah, it's actually quite good how that's going to work out for us. We get 3 threat on the main scheme, putting us at 10. The collector attacks over here. We're going to block it. So it's 1, 2 damage coming in. We block it. The collector attacks over here. I think we just take it to the face for 1, 2 damage. And this, when I was talking earlier about when you defeat the Badoon Headhunter, you put worse cards into the encounter deck. This is the first one you add in, which gives the villain an additional boost card. So, and they just get worse as you go. So, but you do want to kill him because he gives you points to buy upgrade cards with. Okay, now we get some encounter cards. Over here we get the Biogram Image. I remember that one. And over here we get a Psionic Ghost, who does confuse us this time. So confusing, this ghost. All right. So yeah, we need to do like 1 damage to the boss if at all possible. All right, first player comes over here. And we're certainly going to play our particle cannon. Comes in with 2 charges on it. Ooh, awkward. Awkward is what this is. I think we're going to pay these 2. Before we do that, hold on. Let me see how this is going to work out. Because I want to do minimal overkill damage here, right? To kill this guy. Oh. That's easy. It's not actually easy. I think what we're going to do is use just attack with Rocket, which does 2 damage. Gets rid of that. And puts 2 threat on the main scheme, putting us up to 12 out of 20. Then we're going to use our rocket launcher to do 2 damage to the collector and 2 damage to this ghost. And then we're going to use our particle cannon to do 4 damage to this guy, which kills him. Does 2 overkill damage, so it does 3 damage to the collector and lets us draw a card. The card we drew was Dropkick, which is incredible because now we can use Martial Prowess and annoying. No, it's fine. We spent Valkyrie instead of combat training earlier because now we got all fists, so we can Dropkick to stun the collector and do 4 damage to him and let us draw a card. 2 cards, actually, because we did overkill damage to him. So that knocks out the first stage of the Collector. He's going to come back with 28 hit points. Alright, hold on. Let me set this real quick and resolve his stage 2 stuff. In player order, each player must choose to either put the top card of their deck face up into the collection or take 3 damage. So we're at 4 cards in the collection right now. Can we afford to put 2 more in there? Can we? I don't know. It's probably better than 3 damage, right? It's probably better than 3 damage. Yeah, we'll put 2 cards in there. It's the worst that could happen. So we put Brawn and Flora and Fauna in there, which is annoying, because Flora and Fauna is certainly a card I would have liked to have drawn. We did draw 2 cards. Safeguard is an incredible card, which is going to let us draw a card. We drew Wasp. And give 2 characters tough status cards. I love that card so much. It's so good. We're also going to use our battery pack to throw another charge onto Particle Cannon. And then we're going to spend 2 resources to take Flora and Fauna back out of the collection. And now it's over to Groot, who has a pretty boss turn. We're going to use Sense of Justice and 2 cards to play I Am Groot to remove threat from a scheme equal to the number of growth counters on Groot, which is 6. We're going to kill this Crystal Ball, which is going to let him play a card from his hand, reducing its cost by 3. He is going to choose Crisis Averted to remove 6 threat from the main scheme. And then I think he's going to flip down. And he'll use Fertile Ground to draw a card and get a growth counter. And then he's going to play Deft Focus. So that all felt pretty good. Oh yeah, and he gets 2 more growth counters when he flips down also. So we're going to waste getting some growth counters, but that's alright. This one feels like it's going significantly better than the last one. Mainly because we didn't draw 800,000 minions all in a row to drown out the collection, you know? Alright. Rocket draws into Hall of Heroes, Dropkick, Relentless Assault. Alright. What's our boy Groot drawn into? Root Stomp for Justice, Vine Spikes, Crisis Averted, Multitasking. Alright. I mean, this feels like a pretty good turn to try to kill this, whatever it's called, Gallery of Splendor. If we can, we'll see. It is worth a victory point, and we love victory points, you know? Alright, so, first off, we get 2 threat on the main scheme, putting it at 8 out of 20. The Collector attacks over here, but instead becomes unstunned. The Collector schemes over here for 3, 4. Putting us at, what, 11? 12, rather? 12 out of 20. Famous last words. Yeah, I know, right, Philbo? I mean, I'm just saying. We have not drowned ourselves in minions, which is what killed us last time. So, we'll see. Okay, encounter cards. Over here, the Philosopher's Stone comes in with 7 threat. It's got an amplify on it. I'm going to check and see. I think that's what that's. Yeah, amplify icon. It's going to boost all boost icons by 1. That was rockets. For Groot, we get a Psionica Ghost. Because, of course we do. Why wouldn't we, you know? This comes over here. Groot is going to use Fertile Ground to get his final growth counter. And draw a card. Drew Sure Gamble, which is great. Which is actually great. He's going to flip up. Oh, I'm confused. So confused. I'm going to thwart to get rid of this confused. And then I'm going to use Sure Gamble to play Crisis Averted for free, removing 6 threat from the main scheme. Then we're going to use Deft Focus to pay for Vine Spikes. And we're going to use Sense of Justice to pay for Sense of Justice and Skilled Investigator to pay for 4 Justice, removing 4 threat from this side scheme. And then we're going to pay 2 to take a card out of the collection. Just to, you know, we want to try to stay on top of that, if at all possible. And we're about to put something in there with Rocket. So, because he's going to Martial Prowess. Before he does that, we're going to use Rocket Launcher to do 2 damage here and to the villain, down to 26. Then we're going to use Martial Prowess and Helicarrier to play Relentless Assault to deal 5 damage to this guy, which will do 3 overkill damage, and we get +1 to it for 4 damage total. And that kills this guy. Going into the old collection there. This is what we got left. Oh, we get to draw a card from doing that overkill damage. Which, I mean, we could dropkick for 4 damage, which isn't super relevant. I mean, we could play Helicarrier, which seems like would probably be good. We're actually going to play Spider Girl, I think. Who's going to thwart for 1. And we're going to thwart for 2 to kill this Philosopher's Stone. So let's just draw 2 cards. Just going to shuffle our deck, getting us an encounter card. Swoon, how are you doing tonight, man? What's the good word? What is the good word? How are you doing tonight? Alright, so we're going to draw into Valkyrie, Dropkick, Relentless Assault. I mean, these things are good. We can't actually do anything with them right now, though, which is actually pretty annoying. I guess the question is, do we keep any of this, or do we just discard it all and keep going? I think we're going to flip down, first off. Ooh, actually, we can flip down and get rid of this battery pack right now to draw 2 cards, which should allow us to do something, right? I mean, it does allow us to do things. Are they things that we care about? We can't stun the villain with Dropkick, which is incredibly annoying. Getting ready to clean the kitchen. First this drink and a card game. Nice, nice. That's the way I schedule my chores, yeah. Yeah, always have a little break first, you know? I guess we play Tigra. And she'll attack for 2. We probably just want to kill this guy, huh? Yeah, we can't do anything with this, so. Oh, what we can do is pay 2 to get a card out of our discard pile. Or out of the collection, rather. Oh, and we had our particle cannon still unused, so we shoot him for 4 also. Since I forgot to do that. So he's down to 16. So what we would really love to do is kill this Gallery of Splendor. And then kill the collector immediately afterwards. So we'll see if we can't make that happen. What do you say? Assuming we don't threat out, like right now. Speaking of which, we are going to get another encounter card for Groot, because he's also reshuffling his deck. So let me shuffle that up, and then we'll draw some hands. All right. I'd really love an I Am Groot right now. Or a, whatever the one that gets rid of Thwart for. Thwart for growth counters. That would be incredible. Did we draw it? We didn't. We drew the one that does damage, so that's good. That is good. We can probably kill this guy this turn. The trick is we really want to thwart this out before killing the collector. If at all possible. Alright, so we drew Scuden-Fruden. We drew Battery Pack. None of these things super help us. I mean, we can very easily kill the collector this turn. Is it worth a victory point to not kill the collector this turn? I guess that's the question. Oh boy. Okay. So, before any of that, let's see what the collector does. First off, he attacks over here. 4, 2, 3, 4 damage. We become untough. He schemes over here for 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a lot. That is a lot, as it turns out. Then we get some encounter cards. Caught off guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. But I don't want to do that. Alright, we'll discard Fertile Ground, I guess. Annoying. And also, the Cloak of Hercules. Attach to the enemy with the lowest attack. As a hero action, spend 3 fists to discard this card. Okay, so that gives him 5 base attack. Which, seems bad. That one seems bad. Also, the poison shows up, which says, when your turn begins, place 1 poison counter here, then take 1 damage for each poison counter here. Not great. And also, advance. The villain schemes. So, it's 3, 4 more schemes coming in. 4 more threat coming in. Putting us at 12, putting us at 16 out of 20. So I think we just have to kill this guy this turn because things got not great, as it turns out. So this comes over here. We take a poison damage and become untough. We flip up. Can we thwart 8? You know what? We'll, no, it doesn't matter. I mean, we could definitely thwart 8 if we had Groot's card that let him thwart for 10 right now, you know? Which, I mean, we could theoretically draw a card. The question is, are we going to draw that specific one that we need? It's probably worth a try, right? Because all we have to do is play I Am Groot to kill him on our turn, right? So we might as well try. All right, so before anything, I know that we lose any cards we have here, we can't use in the next scenario. So if we're going to kill this guy, first off, we need to get cards back out of the discard pile for sure. So we're going to pay 2 to get Mockingbird out of the collection. And we're going to tap these 2 things to do 6 damage. The collector's down to 10 health. We can do 2 more here. So we will. What do we have in hand? Anything relevant? Nothing that thwarts. So actually, we'll thwart for 1, 2, 3. Take 3 off of this. Just in case, because we're gonna play Ironheart. I think we're gonna play Ironheart. Who's gonna let us draw a card? And we've got a 1 in a whole bunch, or 2, I think 2 chances here to draw the one that lets us thwart for a zillion. Holy moly. We did it. We actually drew it. Okay, so I guess now the question is, can we afford to play it? Okay, so we're going to go back to our boy Rocket here, and he's going to play Helicarrier, since he had a ton of cards left in hand. I cannot believe we actually drew that. Okay, so now we're going to Deft Focus and Sense of Justice and Helicarrier to play I Am Groot for 0 cards out of hand and remove 10 threat from Gallery of Splendor, which is going to put the top card of each of our decks into the collection, which is annoying. Power of Aggression and for Justice. Groot is going to tap to get Fertile Ground back out of the collection. And then we're going to use 2 to play I Am Groot to deal 10 damage to the collector, which kills him. And we have successfully infiltrated the museum. Incredible. Incredible. I cannot believe we actually drew that card to get this extra victory point. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Like, incredible. Okay. So, we won. Took 3 tries, and dropping the difficulty from expert to standard. But again, standard in this is like way, way harder than any previous standards have been. Let me get my pen out to record our victory points. And I'll read all this in a second. So, record units equal to... So we get 1 buck. Oh boy, throwing stuff on the ground here. We get 1 buck for winning this scenario. Then record a number of units for each player to a maximum of 3 units equal to the victory values on encounter cards in the victory display. Alright, so we get 3 more bucks. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Record 1 unit for each player if there are 2 or fewer cards in the collection. I mean, certainly not. Record 1 unit for each player if there is no threat on the main scheme. Certainly not. In the cards in the collection section, record the title of each card in the collection. Each player card in the collection. Okay. So we're going to not be able to use these 2 cards in the next scenario, but that's fine. If Badoon Headhunter is in the victory display, mark the box beside scenario 2 in the Headhunter defeated column. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. We have done those things. And now, let's read a cool comic book. The Collector's Museum. Was getting captured part of your plan, Quill? As long as we escape with the Power Stone, yeah. You came to steal from me, but end up part of my collection. How delightful. You must know the stone would be... My lord, the Power Stone has been stolen. Faziu... Man, my voice acting is great. Who cut the power? Get it back. Oh no. See? Everything according to plan. Dumb luck is not a plan, Quill. Yeah, dumb luck is not a plan, says Gamora. And we're going on to scenario number 3, Escape the Museum. Which apparently has someone with infinite hit points, which seems totally fine. Okay, so if y'all give me a minute here, I've got to take all this down and set up the next scenario, and then we're going to get into it and see if we can escape the museum now that we have successfully infiltrated the museum. And for as much smack as I was talking about it, follow through, if there are enough minions around to trigger it, feels pretty good. I mean, as long as you get it out early, you're going to get value out of it, as long as there are enough minions around to be able to trigger consistently. So that's fun. I wasn't sure if it was going to be worth it, but again, I don't know if it's actually like worth it numbers wise, but it feels fun anyway. And sometimes that's why you put a card in a deck. All right, so let me separate these things out. There's some really nasty cards in this scenario. Really looking forward to playing, putting these in with some other guys. Like, especially all these galactic artifacts are nuts. And this is a really nasty set of minions also. And yeah, honestly, I think winning or losing that just came down to if we drew a bunch of minions or not, you know? Because if we drew 8 minions in the first couple of turns, you have to kill those guys. You know, if you leave them around, you're going to lose. And then there's basically no way to get out from under that many cards being in the museum, you know? So that feels a little wonky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got our obligations. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where are the rest of these? Galactic artifacts. So, yeah, okay, there we go. And yeah, that guy on expert felt impossible. Like, not even hard, just like impossible, you know? Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go. Alright. What do we need for the next scenario? Missing Milano, Lost in the Museum, The Great Escape, Galactic Artifacts, Menagerie Medley, Ship Command, Standard Encounter. Okay. All right. So, the missing Milano. Ship Command, 1 modular set. Put the Library Labyrinth environment into play. Okay. So we've got Galactic Artifacts, Menagerie Medley, Ship Command. Okay. And standard encounter sets. Standard, Menagerie, Galactic Artifacts. Escape the museum. Okay. We've got the things we need. Reveal there is no escape. Oh, yeah, right. Each player must now search their deck, get rid of the cards in the collection. Shuffle the Badoon Headhunter minion into the encounter deck, then shuffle in On the Hunt and Dead to Rights. Okay. Dead to Rights says, exhaust your identity if you cannot place 2 threat on the main scheme. Wow, okay. Nasty. Whoa, look at this guy. 8 hit points. I guess he's going to come in the next time we defeat him. Nasty. Alright, so the missing Milano. Set up. Set aside the Ship Command modular set. Okay. Right, we're trying to get to our ship and escape. The last threat is removed from this scheme. Advance to 2A. The players win by advancing. Wow, okay. This sounds different. So it starts with 14 threats. It gets 2 around, and we win by advancing through these, by clearing all the threat off of them, instead of by punching the collector. That's cool. So this comes in with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 threat on it. And the collector has 16 hit points. Collector gets plus X scheme and plus X attack, where X is equal to the main scheme's current stage number. When Collector would be defeated, remove 6 threat from the main scheme and flip this card over instead. 0 scheme, 0 attack, infinite hit points. The Collector cannot be defeated. When the round ends, flip this card, then set the Collector's hit point dial to his printed hit points. Huh. So this guy is immortal, I guess, and we can't actually beat him. But when we get rid of those 16 hit points, we remove 6 threat from this and flip him over, and he basically doesn't attack us for that turn. That's cool. Library Labyrinth. Hero action. Deal yourself 1 face-down encounter card to remove 5 threat from the main scheme. Limit once per player per round. Okay. Alright. This sounds cool, man. This is a cool scenario. Like, I'm not 100% sold on that last scenario, like, difficulty-wise. It just felt kind of off. But it was at least really neat to see something different, you know? Like, something that punishes you for having a million allies to chump block for you, you know? Stuff like that. So, once I get done shuffling this up, I'm going to grab myself a water, and I'll be right back. And we'll see if we can escape the museum now that we have successfully infiltrated it. We'll try to exfiltrate, you know? we got in and we said, this place sucks, let's get out of here. All right. So, give me just a minute, you guys, and I'll be right back. We are back. We're back and we're ready to escape. So, also, before we get into it, we've got $4 to use. So let's see if we want to buy any of these cool upgrades. Draw a card, choose a player. That player may draw a card, then choose and discard one card from their hand. Let's look at the 4-cost ones. Armor plating. When an identity would take any amount of damage, exhaust armor plating, prevent one of that damage. Exhaust heavy cannon, deal 1 damage to each enemy. Wow, okay. If you control the Milano, deal 1 additional damage to the villain. I mean, I think we might take that one. Exhaust hyper thrusters, remove 1 threat from the main scheme. If you control the Milano, remove 1 additional threat from the main scheme. I mean, I think we take those two. Like, I'd like to save up and get one of these bonkers 7-cost ones. Like, draw up to your max hand size, remove this card from the game. Seems wild. Deal 5 damage to the villain and remove 5 threat from the main scheme. Choose a player. Draw up to 3 cards from their discard pile. Ready up to 3 characters. I mean, these things all seem wildly good. But also, I'm more of a let's get a cool thing right now kind of guy. So, I think we're going to spend them as we get them. How's that sound? Blah, 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 blah. All right. So we're going to shuffle these into our decks here. And presumably we'll put the thwart one into Groot's Justice deck and the aggression one into the, or the damage one into the aggression deck. I mean, that seems like it makes sense, right? 1 damage a turn, 1 thwart a turn, every turn seems quite good. Especially for free cards, you know. Not as good as the 5-cost ones that we already bought after the first scenario, but, you know, that's why those cost 5 and these cost 4, I guess. Oh, and we need to put another card into our decks to replace the ones that got taken out. So, for Groot, we lost it for Justice, so we'll put a multitasking in there. Just, you know, it's less raw thwarting, but it is still thwarting. And for Rocket, we lost a Power of Aggression. I don't know how we meaningfully replace that. I guess we could throw like a Skilled Strike in there, maybe. Or a Mean Swing, maybe. Actually, hold on. Oop. Grab the stack of aggression cards here and find, where is it? Into the Fray. I've never used Into the Fray. Deal 6 damage to a minion. For each point of excess damage dealt this way, remove 1 threat from the main scheme. I mean, some marginal thwarting while also killing a minion? Maybe? I don't know. We'll toss it in there. I don't know if we'll actually use that card or not, but this scenario seems to be all about removing threat, so. Oh, does it? We can't put stuff in there? Campaign instructions. You're right. Okay, so we can't do that. So never mind. We'll just shuffle up and keep going. And see if we can exfiltrate the museum. Dev, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. Dev, have you played Galaxy's Most Wanted at all thus far? Bumping it down to standard has certainly made it more enjoyable and less of a meat grinder, you know. Philbo, we took him out honestly pretty handily in that last one. Mainly because we didn't draw a million minions early in the game to crush us under the... Yeah, you're right. You could change your decks, but then you would lose... Yeah, we would have to take all the For Justices out. And, like, I'd rather have... Or you know what? Actually... Yeah, no, we would have to take all the For Justices out, which, you know, I'd rather have more For Justices. I could still throw in an extra card, and because then I still... Like, if these are still in my deck, right, and then I throw an extra card in there, I just lose these, right? Because these are the 2 cards that were in the collection, right? So if I put another card in there, I just lose these, right? Yeah. That makes sense to me. So we are going to throw a couple extra cards in there. It was looking pretty good. I was on a phone call with Jay while the grand finale was underway. Yeah, like I said, that one seems to hinge on whether you draw a bunch of stuff out of the encounter card that has to go into the collection. Like, as to whether it gets... Because you can only remove 2 cards from the collection per turn. So if you have to put like 8 cards in there because a zillion minions come out, like, you know, there's just not a lot you can do to get out from under that. Seems a little weird that it's quite so draw dependent, I guess, but you know, at least it's a neat, interesting, different sort of scenario, you know. And since it was at least like beatable on standard, which it certainly did not seem to be on expert without like building a deck specifically to take on that scenario, then I'll take that. And eventually we're going to find the Milano here and try to fly away from the collector. Because, yeah, Dev, my decks are at 40 cards apiece, so turning them to 41 and then losing 1 still works, I think. Okay, so we're going to draw 6 cards here. And anyone that has questions about what this scenario is all about, feel free to ask. I'm just going to get into it, but basically we have to remove this thwart, and once we remove all of this thwart, we go to the next level of the main scheme, and we win by getting through all 3 levels of it. So basically this scenario says thwart a bunch, which is fine. So for Groot, we got 2 multitaskings, a For Justice. We did not get anything to pay for our thwarting events in a way that makes them actually trigger, which is annoying. We can still play all of them and get rid of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 threat, which is probably alright. 7 threat. I mean, it's not as good as 8 threat off the main scheme and 4 threat off that side scheme, for sure. So maybe we just keep energy and mulligan for some setup cards instead. Well, we didn't get any setup cards. We are not punished for minions or allies this time, though, so that's good. Alright, what did Rocket get? 2 reloads is certainly not what you want to see in your opening hand. Battery pack and flora and fauna seems fine. Alright, Hall of Heroes, thruster boots. Alright, I can work with these things. 1, 2, yeah, we can work with these. Okay, so to start off, Rocket is going to flip up. We're going to thwart for 2 off the main scheme before we do anything else. We're going to pay 2 to get Martial Prowess out here. We're going to pay 1 to get Thruster Boots out here. And we're actually going to have thwarted for 3 off of here instead of 2, having played our cool boots first. And the question now is, do we play Battery Pack or do we give Groot 2 extra growth counters? I think we probably want to play Battery Pack. Alright, so Groot's going to get 2 growth counters. We're going to play Ironheart, who's going to stun... Nope, who's going to draw us a card. Drew Vine Spikes, okay. Interesting. We're going to flip up. I mean, we can play Heroic Intuition to get our thwart up a little bit. Play Vine Spikes. Question mark, question mark. Or do we play Mockingbird? We'll play Mockingbird, who's going to stun the Collector. And then we'll play Vine Spikes. And then we're going to thwart for 2 off the main scheme. Alright, so we're ready up. I got to get myself out of the allies are bad mentality that I was in for the last round. Alright, so we drew Helicarrier, Schadenfreude, Tigra, Brawn. Okay, all these things are good. What's Groot drawn into here? Crisis averted. We are Groot. Ooh, okay. Root Stomp. All these things are good. All these things are good. Okay. So we're going to get 2 threat on the main scheme. The Collector is going to attack over here, but instead become unstunned. It's going to attack over here. We'll have Ironheart block it for 2. 3 plus an additional boost card. 4 damage coming in. See you later, Ironheart. Thanks for coming in. We get some encounter cards. A Psionic Ghost shows up. I remember those guys. Nope, we're confused. So confused. And over here, a Vandarian Power Wand. Ooh. Attach the enemy with the lowest scheme is going to be the Collector. That's annoying. That one is annoying. So that gives us +1 encounter card every turn until we get rid of that thing. So that's annoying. First player comes over here. We're going to use Fruition to get 2 growth counters. We're going to use We Are Groot to get 2 tough statuses. And then we're going to play Lashing Vines. Mockingbird is going to thwart for 1. And we're going to attack and get rid of a growth counter for 4 to kill this Sonic Ghost. Rocket is going to thwart to get rid of this confused. We can draw any attack, anything. So that's cool. We're going to pay 3 to play Helicarrier. And then sadly, we can't afford to play anything else. So that's that, I guess. Yep. Very annoying how that worked out. Awkward hand. I think we're going to ditch Brawn. Drew into the fray. Drew our cool heavy cannon. Spider Girl. We drew both of our guns at the same time. That's super unfortunate. Super unfortunate. What's Groot drawing into? The question is, do we want Root to flip down here to get some growth counters? I think we probably do want that. 1, 2. Yeah, it takes 22. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am Groot. I am Groot. Root Stomp. Skilled Investigator. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, I got to remember this too. We can deal ourselves a face down encounter card to remove 5 threat from the main scheme. So if that looks like it's getting out of control, we can do that. This is super annoying also. Can we get rid of that? I mean, we can, but at heavy cost. Oof. Yeah, that's nasty. Okay, we're going to get 2 threat on the main scheme. Putting us at 12. 12 out of 22. Seems fine. The collector scheme's over here for 1, 2. Deal 1 damage to each character you control. Well, that's annoying. See you later, Mockingbird. So that kills Mockingbird and gets rid of our tough. So that's actually like super, super annoying. 2 threat, though. The collector scheme's over here. For 2, we lose our tough. Okay. We get 3 encounter cards. Impossible Geometry. In Sight 1. So we put 1 more threat out here. So we're at 15 out of 22. When revealed, you are confused. If you are already confused, choose and discard 1 card you control. Woof. Okay. And a crystal ball shows up with 7 threat on it. And when you defeat that, you get to play a card at a reduced cost of 3. And also the villain schemes. So, like, do we lose right now? 2, 3. We don't, but it's not great. Okay. So this comes over here. We got to get rid of that stupid wand. There aren't any minions out here, so like none of our stuff is actually that good right now. So we're going to play a particle cannon. And a heavy cannon. We use the particle cannon to do 4 damage to the collector. Down to 12. And we'll thwart for 3 off the main scheme, I guess. Actually, hold on. What's Groot got? Groot could play I Am Groot to remove 5 threat. So that could kill that. And let him play I Am Groot for free. I think we thwart for 3 off of this crystal ball? Question mark, question mark. I don't know if that's right, but it's what we're doing. Okay. So now... Oh, and then we use this heavy cannon to do 1 damage to each enemy. Okay. Looks like 1 to the collector. And eventually we're going to draw anything that makes any of his stuff good. We're going to put 1 more ammo on particle cannon, and we're going to use helicarrier for our friend Groot, who is going to, first off, get 2 growth counters, putting him at 5 growth counters. Then he's going to flip up. And he's going to thwart to get rid of this confused. And then he's going to play I Am Groot, using that helicarrier and genius to do 5... remove 5 threat from Crystal Ball, which is going to let him play I Am Groot for 5 damage. Gotta be kidding me. We're also going to have played Skilled Investigator before that to draw a card. Two Hyper Thrusters. Which we would love to play. Oh, 18, huh? But I think we're going to play Root Stomp instead to deal 5 damage to an enemy. So that does 10 damage total. And leaves the collector at 1 hit point. Which is a very annoying amount of hit points for him to have. Not gonna lie. Oof. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So I guess the question is, do we want to deal... We could deal ourselves... Someone's got to get a face down encounter card to take 5 threat off the main scheme. Like, so this doesn't scheme out right now, right? So we do that, which is super annoying, but, you know, it is what it is. Him being at 1 hit point is really killing me right now. Okay, so... we get 2 threat on the main scheme, putting it at 15. And then the collector attacks over here for 2, 3, and becomes tough. Okay. 3 damage and he's tough. He attacks over here for 2. Are we going to defend? Are we going to defend that one? I think we will defend this one. For 2, and this stupid Psionic Ghost shows up. I gotta hate those guys, because that takes 3 of our growth counters, or 2 of our growth counters, because that guy also attacks. Super annoying. Like, the whole reason I defended was to keep my growth counters, you know? Okay, so now we get 3 encounter cards. We're playing on Heroic here, y'all. A Psionic Ghost shows up. Cool. Great. Why wouldn't that happen? And the Hujadarian Monarch Egg. The player who defeated this scheme may ready their identity. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Comes in with 7 threat. Alright. And over here, Assault. The villain attacks you. Cool. So 2, another ghost shows up, and we lose 2 growth counters. That's cool. Caught off guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. Cool. We discard Latching Vines. So, our turn got less good with Groot. Significantly less good, as it turns out. We can't even pay to get rid of that stupid power wand. We can pay to get rid of it with Rocket. So we probably do that. Alright. First player comes over here. We don't have like anything good to do here. So we're going to get Coulson into play. Who's going to thwart for 2 off the main scheme, I guess. Actually, we'll thwart for 2 off this. See if Rocket can get rid of that. And then we'll play Deft Focus. We also get to find Counterintelligence, put it into our hand, but we can't afford to play it right now. So things are going good for Groot. Alright. What's Rocket got? I mean, he's got Relentless Assault. So, first off, we're going to use our, what's it called? Gun to do 1 damage to everything. Then we're going to use our Particle Cannon to do 4 damage to one of these guys, which does 1 overkill damage to the boss. And also lets us draw a card for doing overkill damage. We drew Avengers Mansion. We're going to use our battery pack to put another charge on there. Oh, we've got a ghost too. Wow, we got all types of ghosts. So this guy took a damage also. We're going to use Martial Prowess and Helicarrier to play Relentless Assault for free, killing one of these ghosts, letting us draw a card for doing overkill damage. Oh, speaking of which, we killed this guy, so something happens. We remove 6 threat from the main scheme. And flip this card over. Zero scheme, 0 attack. Okay. Oh, we got a bunch of good stuff here, huh? I mean, we could get Avengers Mansion into play. Alright, so we're going to scheme, or thwart, to get rid of this Confused. We're also going to use Power of Aggression to play I've Got a Plan. It says, after you make a basic thwart, ready Rocket and get +1 thwart. Wink. So now we've got 4 thwart. We're going to thwart this for 4. And annoyingly, I don't think we can thwart for 1 more there. Super annoying is how that is. So we're going to play 2 salvages to play Avengers Mansion. And use Avengers Mansion to draw Rocket's Pistol. Rocket's Pistol does 2 damage, which is not enough to kill this ghost, which is annoying, as it turns out. I mean, we could kill the main scheme right now if we take 2 more encounter cards. I just don't know if that's worth it. That's a lot of encounter cards, you know. Like, I can't believe we're one short from being able to thwart that out. We should be able to get rid of it next turn anyway. Hopefully. Hopefully we can. So I think instead of taking that last 3 off of here, or that last 4 off of here, we'll take 4 off the main scheme instead. And I mean, we could kill this right now. Put the set aside Milano support. Ooh, okay. So that gets us the Milano if we do that. So that's probably worth it. Do we want to find the Milano right now at the low cost of an encounter card? I think we do want to do that. So we're going to deal ourselves an encounter card to remove 5 threat from this. And go to Lost in the Museum. Says, put the set aside Milano support from the ship command encounter set into play under the first player's control. Okay. We found the Milano, and we can use it to generate a resource for any player. Okay. Ooh, so we can use that now and spend these 2 lightnings to get rid of this Vandarian Power Wand, which is super nice. Get rid of that stupid thing. Also, we get to put 2 tech cards on the top of our deck from using those 2 salvages earlier, and I forgot about it. Alright, so Milano support. Alright, and this comes in with 22 on it. A non-trivial amount of threat coming in on here. 22, and it takes 30 to lose. Okay, so I was thinking of having Rocket flip down, but I feel like that's probably bad right now. If he's going to... if he's going to take that... If it's that close to us losing, because it only takes 8 more threat. And if we flip down... It's getting 3. I mean, we probably won't lose, but I feel like it's going to be real close. Do we flip down? I just don't know, y'all. I just don't know if we flip down or not. I feel like we probably don't. Yeah, I feel like we probably don't. Okay, so ready everybody up. I mean, Rocket's got a serious tableau of stuff going on here. We get 3 threat on the main scheme, putting it at 25. Yeah, because, like, an advance... It's already at 25, so, like... Yeah, we definitely don't want to scheme right now. Okay, so... the collector attacks over here for 0 plus 0. I'll take that. The collector attacks over here for 0 plus 1. So 1 and then 2 from those guys. So 3 total. We're down to 3 hit points. So like we're going to have to flip down next turn just to heal. Unless we happen to draw Schadenfreude, which we will not because it's right there in our discard pile. Okay, so now we get some encounter cards. Crisis on Half-World. Give to the Rocket Raccoon player. You may flip to Alter Ego. So we'll flip to Alter Ego. And then we can choose to either exhaust ourselves or discard the highest cost upgrade we control. Okay, so before we do that, let's draw our hands for the next turn and see what we get. Because if we get allies and stuff, we might not care about flipping down. We got Wasp ally. We play for 1 hit point. And then we got our rocket launcher. And we're gonna get 2 more cards also. Okay, so what's Groot got? I am Groot. Vine shield, crisis averted, under surveillance. Okay. Alright. So we probably don't really care about flipping down this next turn either, to be honest. So we'll go ahead and exhaust ourselves, I guess. Take this out of the game. Woof. Okay. That was the first card over here. The second card is the Badoon Headhunter shows up. And on the hunt, Surge, choose to either take 2 damage or discard 1 card from your hand. Ugh. Ugh. 2 damage. 2 damage is going to be a tall ask for us when we're at 1 hit point. So I think we discard a card. We discarded our battery pack, which is not the one we wanted to discard because that was going to let us play Wasp. It also had Surge, so we get also a Servant Bot shows up. Okay. Cool. This comes over here. We're going to start off by using Avengers Mansion to draw a card. Relentless Assault. We're going to use Tinkering to discard this battery pack and draw 2 cards. We drew our Cybernetic Skeleton and Dropkick. I mean, you love to see our Cybernetic Skeleton because we can use Helicarrier and something. Probably... Oh, hold on. The Collector flips back up and gets 16 hit points again. This is a cool scenario. I really like the design of this. It's really neat. The way you're not actually trying to kill the Collector, you're just trying to escape from him, you know? Okay. So, now, the question is, what are we using to pay for our Cybernetic Skeleton? To heal ourselves for 3 and give ourselves +1 attack. Because those things are both good. Good things that we want to do. We need to pay 1 card for it. We got 2 dropkicks, so probably we'll pay a dropkick. So we play Cybernetic Skeleton, which gives us +1 attack and 3 hit points. So we're up to 6. Hopefully that'll let us survive till we get Schadenfreude. Use Dropkick and Martial Prowess to pay for Relentless Assault to do 5 damage to a minion with Overkill. We'll choose this Psionic Ghost. So that does 2 Overkill damage. And lets us draw a card. We drew a Dropkick. Apparently we're finding all the Dropkicks. We're going to use our Particle Cannon. Before we do that, before we did any of that, we're going to use our Heavy Cannon to do 1 damage to everything, which does 1 more Overkill damage to the boss. And then we're going to use our Particle Cannon to do 4 damage to this guy, which does 2 Overkill damage to the boss. And lets us draw a card. We drew Follow Through. So we drew a bunch of cards, which is nice. We also have the Milano, which we can use to generate a wild resource. So we're going to use that to generate a lightning bolt to play Wasp ally with 1 hit point. Oh yeah, we had to flip up to hero form also at some point. The question now is, do we play Dropkick or do we play Rocket Launcher? I feel like we probably want to play Rocket Launcher, right? Do we want to play Rocket Launcher? I mean, Dropkick, stunning the villain is always good. I think we actually play Dropkick this time. No, we want to play Rocket Launcher. Well, hold on. We don't have any allies here, so we will play Dropkick. So let's just draw a card. Ooh, we drew Safeguard. Incredible. Okay. It also does 4 damage to the boss, down to 7. And stuns the boss. Get stunned, son. We drew Safeguard, which we're certainly going to play. I mean, I love that card so much. Gives us each a tough status card. And lets me draw a card. Drew Skilled Strike. Can't play either of these 2 things. So I think we're done with Rocket. Although he had what I would call a very good turn. So over to Groot, who needs to thwart bad. So we're going to play Fruition to get 2 growth counters. Coulson's going to thwart for 2. And we're going to play Crisis Averted for 3 to take 6 off the main scheme. Still at 17, which isn't great. We can also attack for 4 on this Badoon Headhunter by losing a growth counter. This Badoon Headhunter is going to be annoying. We should be able to kill him next turn, though. So it'll be alright, I think. And I think that's all we got, basically. Because Groot's out of cards. And we don't want to flip down yet, because there's still a ton of threat on this. So we're going to ready everything up. Draw some cards here. Alright, we drew Hulk. I've got a plan. Relentless Assault. All good things are what these are. What's Groot got going on? I mean, sure, gamble with Crisis Averted is kind of the dream draw there. Yeah. Okay. Take that. Take that all day. So we're going to get 3 threat on the main scheme, putting it up to 20 out of 30. The Collector is going to attack over here, but instead become unstunned. Collector is going to attack over here. We're going to have Wasp ally block. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and he becomes tough. Okay. The Badoon Headhunter also attacks here for 1, 2, 3. Getting rid of our tough. Okay. Now we get some encounter cards. Over here, we get Impossible Geometry. In Sight 1, you are confused. If you are already confused, discard one card you control. Okay. And over here we get the Cloak of Hercules. Attach the enemy with the lowest attack. Gives them +3 attack. Woof. Okay. Thankfully, the collector is not on his 0 side right now. We're going to choose to attach this to the Badoon Headhunter for sure. Because we're definitely going to kill him this turn. Alright, so first player and the Milano come over here. And we're certainly going to play Crisis Averted with Sure Gamble to make it free. That card is so good. I don't know what else we're doing here. I think Coulson's going to thwart for 2 off of this. Do we give Rocket some ammo right now? Or we can attack, ready, and attack again. Yeah. We're going to attack and get rid of growth counter to kill this Badoon Headhunter. Are we going to do that? Hold on. Also, this should be damage, not threat. Hold on. Let me see if I actually want to do this. What's Rocket got? Oh yeah, Wasp Ally also took a hit for sure. What's Rocket got? Rocket's got a bunch of thwarting, which is nice. Relentless Assault, also pretty nice. That'll let him draw a card if he uses it here. Okay, so we're going to attack for 4 on... Before we do that, we're gonna call for hero action and do 1 damage to all enemies with our heavy cannons to get rid of this tough. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna attack for 4, taking him down to 3. Oh. I thought I had Lashing Vines out here, but I don't. Okay, so we're gonna use Sense of Justice to play Fertile Ground, and then we're gonna use this Helicarrier to play Flora and Fauna. Oh right, that's what I was gonna do. To place 2 growth counters on Groot and ready him. And then he's going to attack for 2. Yeah, he's going to attack for 2 because this is already tapped. And then flip down. And tap Fertile Ground to draw a card and get a growth counter. Plus he gets 2 more growth counters. Putting him at 6 growth counters. Okay. Coulson also thwarted. We've still got the Milano. Haven't used that yet. So now it's over to Rocket, who's going to start off by thwarting to get rid of this Confused. And then we're going to use the Milano to use I've Got a Plan to ready him and give him +1 thwart. So he's at 4 thwart right now. So he's going to thwart and kill this Monarch Egg, which lets him ready his identity. So he readies, and then he thwarts for 4 more. Down to 11 here. Then we're going to Relentless Assault using, before we do that, we're going to use our Avengers Mansion for sure to draw a card Jay's going to shuffle his deck and get him an encounter card. Alright, we drew Brawn. So, right, this is used, that's used. We're going to use Martial Prowess and something. Brawn, probably. To play Relentless Assault to do 5 damage to this guy, which does 3 damage to the Collector, which is 2 instances of overkill. Or, 2 instances of overkill, so we get to draw 2 cards. Which is, I mean, you love to see that, folks. So we kill this stupid Headhunter. And we kill the Collector, which removes 6 threat from the main scheme. This is at 0. Then I guess we can play Hulk Ally. I mean, there's no sense in using our hand cannon, right? Because we can't do damage to the Collector. He's got infinite hit points right now. So we're kind of actually stuck with a bunch of stuff that we can't do much with. So we probably play Combat Training and our pistol just to get some stuff out here. Comes out with 3 ammo on it. 1, 2, 3. Groot got to draw a card when we killed that side scheme. Sadly, not a card he can play. So, like, we could take another encounter card right now to kill this, which would flip Library Labyrinth. Place 1 acceleration token on the main scheme. Ooh. Whoa. Things get bad when you flip this. So, things get bad when you flip that. So maybe we don't flip that right now. I don't know. I mean, we've got an ally out here to block. We've got blockers for us, so wouldn't be that bad if we did flip it right now, honestly. What kind of threat does it come in with? Comes in with 16, and it takes 24 to lose. Oof. Okay. Do we flip that right now by taking an encounter card? I feel like we probably let it ride for one more turn. And, you know, see what else we can get here, I guess. Probably, yeah, we probably do that. Because I don't really want to get 4 encounter cards right now. That's a lot. 4 encounter cards going into us being almost losing on this threat seems bad. So let's get through this turn with the extra encounter card, and then we'll just keep rolling on the next one. Okay, so done talking. Do we keep Quake or For Justice? I feel like we probably keep Quake. Oh, we're getting another encounter card also because we're shuffling Groot's deck right now. So we're definitely not we're definitely not taking another one. I feel like maybe we keep Quake out to take an attack for us. Oh, we're still in 2. Okay, 2B. Alright, so so we're shuffling up Groot's deck here. Oh, he's already in Alter Ego too, so yeah, we definitely don't want to flip it right now. Okay. Shuffling up our deck here. What are we drawing to? We got Quake. I Am Groot. I mean, I Am Groot is going to remove 10 threat for us, so I'm here for that, for sure. Yeah. Removing 10 threat feels pretty good. So, that's good. Okay. Ready everybody up also. What's Rocket drawn into? Spider-Girl into the fray. Relentless Assault. Found our rocket launcher finally. Right after we put our gun out here so we can't play it, so that's cool. That's cool. Into the fray would be way better if it had overkill, but it's fine. Yeah, salvage. Alright. Not too shabby. So, we get 2 threat on the main scheme. The collector attacks over here for 0 plus 0. I'll take it. The collector attacks over here for still 0. I'll take that all day. We get 2 more encounter cards. We're playing heroic here, y'all. The Beyonder's Blazer gets attached to the collector, and it's got an amplify token on it. Poison. Oh man, this poison card is garbage. It's going to do 1 damage at the beginning of Groot's turn, so not ideal. Alright, what do we get over here? Shadows of the Past. Cool, 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 cool. Alright, well I haven't actually seen Groot, or Rocket's Nemesis yet, so let's take a look. Blackjack O'Hare. He's got Quick Strike and Villainous. Okay, so he's coming in and he's doing an attack immediately for 2 damage, getting rid of our tough. And his name's Blackjack O'Hare, and he seems to be an evil space bunny. And I would have to imagine that either him or Bucky O'Hare is an homage to one of the, either one of the other ones. Also, Vendetta has an Amplify token on it. Okay. 4 threat. Alright. And we shuffle these 3 cards in, and there's only 2 cards left in the deck, so we're going to see these. So this one says, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until you discard a minion. Reveal that minion and give it a tough status card. And this one says, Blackjack's Bazooka. +2 attack. Attach it to the villain if Blackjack is not in play. Woof. Okay, so boy, I'd like that to go onto Blackjack O'Hare instead of the villain. Alright, well, Shadows of the Past, annoying. The collector comes back. He's got 16 health. Oh, we need to get rid of this thing also, if we can. Get +1 hit point. Or +1 victory point, rather. Okay, so first player and the Milano comes over here. We're going to start off by using our heavy cannon to do 1 damage to everybody. By everybody, I mean Blackjack O'Hare and the villain. Is Groot going to be able to take care of these side schemes and stuff? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. We're going to shoot our particle cannon at Blackjack O'Hare, doing 2 damage of overkill to the boss and letting us draw a card. Shoot battery pack. Okay. Awkward. Awkward is what these things are. We're going to shoot our gun at the villain for 2 damage. We're going to thwart for 3 off of this. We're going to put 2 thwart onto the main scheme. 2 threat onto the main scheme and spend 2 of the same resource. To get rid of the Beyonder's Blazer. We're going to get our battery pack into play. We're going to put another charge onto our particle cannon. And we're going to use 2 to get Spider-Girl out here. And she's going to thwart for... she's going to attack for 2 off of this guy. He's down to 9. Actually, you know what? We don't care about that. He's at 11. She's going to thwart for 1 off of this. There is no escape. And we're going to see if we can get rid of that before we get rid of the big bad. That also lets us put a tech card on the top of our deck. We're going to put our rocket launcher on top of our deck. Are we going to put our rocket launcher on top of our deck? I mean, it's the only tech card we got, so we will. And we've got a ton of stuff that we can give to Groot. So we're going to start off by giving him a card with our Avengers Mansion. We drew Root Stomp. He's going to start off by getting 1 damage to the face from this poison, which is annoying. We're going to get 1 growth counter and 2 more growth counters. And draw a card from Fertile Ground. We drew Fruition. We're going to play Fruition to get 2 growth counters. And we're going to flip up. Okay, what are we going to do here? We're definitely going to play I Am Groot, right? So, for starters, we're going to play Multitasking, paying 1 for it. Specifically paying this 1, so we can remove 2 threat from 2 different schemes. Killing this Vendetta side scheme. And letting us draw a card. We drew Heroic Intuition, okay. We probably want to get rid of this poison. Not gonna lie. We're gonna use Deft, Focus, and 2 other cards of some kind to play I Am Groot, which is going to remove 10 threat from the main scheme. Flipping it to The Great Escape. Flip Library Labyrinth. Museum Ship. Now it says, hold on to your butts. Force Interrupt. When the villain phase begins, choose 1. Exhaust the Milano to assign 2 indirect damage among players, or assign 3 indirect damage among players. Woof. Okay. Place one acceleration token on the main scheme. Shuffle the remaining cards from the set-aside ship command encounter set into the encounter deck. Okay? This comes in with 16 threat on it. Takes 24 for us to lose. And he gets 3 around. And also, where'd the ship cards go? Also, we shuffle all these in here. And there's only 5 cards left in the encounter deck. So we're going to see like all of those in the immediate future as we try to escape from the museum ship now that we have found the Milano and jumped into it and we're trying to get out of here. All right. So, I think also we're going to use two of these and the wild from the Milano to all right, it's got to be that. Okay. To get rid of this poison. And then we're going to attack and spend 1 growth counter to make it 4, taking the collector down to 7. All right. So we're going to ready up now. We need to remove 7 threat from this before the end of the game if we want a victory point for it. And we do definitely want a victory point for it. Okay. So we get 3 threat on the main scheme. It's at 18. 19, rather. 19 out of 24. Seems like too much. The collector is going to attack over here. We're going to have Spider Girl block it for 1, 2, 3. Oof. So 4, 5, 6 damage coming in. Ooh. Yeah, he's got base 4 attack. Seems like a lot. Then he's going to attack over here. We're going to have Coulson block it for 4, 5, 6. See you later, Coulson. Oh yeah, I should draw my hands also. We're keeping Quake in hand. And we drew Shore Gamble, We Are Groot, Crisis Averted. Okay, all super incredible stuff. Crisis Averted coming out with Shore Gamble again is super nice. Alright. I've got a plan. Reload. Reload's nice now that we got some guns out here finally. So that'll be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. Oh yeah, we're not trying to do damage though, so... I've got a plan is also super nice. Okay, so... we put the threat on the main scheme. We did the attacks. Now we get encounter cards. This one says, I have you now. When revealed, you are stunned, collector attacks you. Woof. Okay. I mean, he could very easily kill us with 1 attack, so we're going to have Groot block this one. Because it's 5 damage coming in. So that loses us 5 growth counters. Yeah, I mean, that would have left us with 1 hit point, so... feels good that we did not take that damage. Ooh, also, we have to each take a damage. Yeah, okay. We'll just have Groot take them both, it's fine. Leaving him with 2 growth counters. Because all we're trying to do is stay alive and thwart at this point. Alright, so, because I forgot about the museum ship. It shoots at us now. Because it's chasing after us as we try to escape. Okay, so now... That was Rocket's encounter card. Now we need Groot's encounter card. Rogue Vessel. Surge. When the villain phase ends, deal 1 damage to each player. First player action. Exhaust the Milano and spend 2 resources of any type to discard this card. It also has Surge. So we can't do this because we exhausted the Milano to block a damage there. So we each take 1 damage. And it has Surge. We surge into Blindside. Spend 2 fists, stun the first player, or exhaust the Milano. Okay. We're going to stun the first player. He's already stunned, so that's fine. Alright. First player comes over here. What's Groot got? I mean, first off, he's got Crisis Averted for sure. It takes 6 off the main scheme. Then We Are Groot is less good now because we lost all of our growth counters. So we're going to play Quake instead, who's going to attack for 2. And we still need to thwart for 7 on that. All right. So now we're going to Avengers Mansion to draw a card. To follow through. We're going to use, what's it called? To do 1 damage to the Collector. We're going to attack to get rid of our stunned. Ooh, actually, hold on. We're going to thwart for 2. We're going to thwart for 3 off of here. And then we're going to Helicarrier and use I've Got a Plan to ready and give ourselves +1 thwart. So we're going to ready and thwart for 4 off of this. Deals 1 damage to each character. I mean, we're at 4, which is not great. It's not great. We're probably going to have to flip down with Rocket. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Alright. Are all of these attacks? We're going to use our gun to become unstunned. We're going to use our particle cannon to do 4 damage to the Collector. We're going to use our battery pack to put another battery on there. We're going to pay 3 to bring Valkyrie in here. We're going to have her attack before we shoot him with the particle cannon, so we get to draw a card from the overkill damage. And then we're going to use... Oh, these don't actually do anything. There's nothing else out here to kill. So these don't actually do anything. So maybe she thwarts for 1 instead of attacking. Well, we already drew the card, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Does Rocket flip down? That's the question. We are going to flip down with Rocket. And we're going to go ahead and burn this battery pack to draw 2 cards. See if we draw something good. We drew Safeguard, which is a hero action, which is actually super annoying. But it's all right. Because we've got these 2 cards in hand, so next turn we should be able to do some serious work. Okay, we're going to ready up. What's Groot drawn into here? Another crisis averted. So we probably, well, maybe we can win next turn. I am Groot with 1 growth counter feels bad. Root Stomp, maybe if a minion comes out. All right, so we're keeping I've Got a Plan and Safeguard. So we're drawing Relentless Assault, Reload. All right, all good stuff. All good stuff. Okay, so we get 3 threat on the main scheme. The Collector, we take 2 indirect damage. So we're going to put 1 on Valkyrie. And we're going to put 1 on Groot. It's going to get rid of this growth counter. Okay. So, the Collector attacks over here. We're going to have Quake block it. It's 1, so 4 damage. See you later, Quake. And the Collector's going to scheme for 4, 5, 6. Okay. That's a lot. 15. We're at 22 out of 24. Seems totally fine. Seems totally fine. Oof. Okay. Now we get encounter cards, right? This one comes over here. Cannonade. And this one comes over here. Power Siphon. Choose one. Exhaust the Milano. Discard 1 card at random from the first player's hand. Or spend 2 lightning bolts. I mean, we'll exhaust the Milano. It's fine. There's only 1 card left in the encounter deck, so we kind of knew what we were drawn into with the 8 million. Oh, you know what? Hold on. He schemed for 2, so we need to get rid of 4 of these. I forgot that he was flipped. And he only schemed for 2, right? Yeah, because Hull Breach had 2 boost icons on it. Yep, okay. This comes in with 7 threat. First player comes over here. Rocket is going to heal for 3. Probably. Probably feels right to heal for 3. Let me see. Actually, we could thwart for 7, 13, 14. Ugh, we can thwart for 14 if we don't heal. So we're not going to heal. It'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? Okay, so we're going. Do we have an ally? I guess is the first question. Oh, we've got. All right, so we're going to play Safeguard first off to give us each a tough status card and draw a card. We do Schadenfreude, which is great because that's going to let us heal by doing damage, which is way better than exhausting. We're also each tough, so you love to see it. No minions came out, so Relentless Assault doesn't do anything. So we're going to thwart and then play I've Got a Plan and thwart again. So we're thwarting for 7 total using Helicarrier. We're going to play Schadenfreude to heal ourselves every time we do damage. And then we're going to use our Milano mod to do 2 damage to the villain, healing ourselves for 2. And then we're going to use our particle cannon and rockets pistols to do 6 more damage. Down to 8. And heal ourselves for 4 more, up to 10. Okay. I mean, we could use reload to do 2 more. But that seems kind of... I mean, we might as well, right? We're going to use reload to ready our pistols and use them again to do 2 more, down to 6. And heal ourselves for 2 more to our max of 12. Feels all right. Valkyrie's going to hang out. Groot over here is going to use Deft Focus. Not going to use Deft Focus. Maybe he's going to use Deft Focus. Yeah, so we're going to use I Am Groot and Energy to pay for Crisis Averted, taking 6 threat off the main scheme. Oh, and he flips back also. Then we're going to use Deft Focus and Sense of Justice to play Root Stomp. And do 5 damage to the old collector. And then we're going to attack the collector, which is going to kill him and flip him over and remove 6 threat from the main scheme, which wins us the scenario. Woo. All right. Nice. That's a cool scenario. I really like that one. The 2 collector scenarios, this one feels more like reasonably balanced difficulty-wise, as far as, like, you know, if you don't draw a million minions. The other one felt alright too. But okay, so let's see some victory stuff here. Campaign log. We get 1 VP for winning, 3 VPs for having killed the stuff, 1 VP for having 2 galactic artifacts in the victory display. Okay, so we get 5 VIPs. Pretty nice. And up next, Deeper Space, Nebula's ship. Set course for nowhere. Our buyer is expecting us there. After we sell the stone, we'll have enough credits to... Kaboom! We're being shot at. Surprise Flarknards. Apparently, Flarknards is what we call people. As you get out of range of the museum, the Milano sensors pick up another speeding ship within your vicinity. Assuming it must be the thief who stole the stone, you crank up the hyperthrusters and ride the ship's tail. When you get close, you realize you're chasing Nebula, daughter of Thanos, and Gamora's dear sister. It would be best if she did not have the Power Stone either. Okay. So we need to beat up Nebula, and then we need to beat up Ronan. And we are going to call it there for tonight. And see if we can't finish this one out. I'm not sure if we'll play it again on Friday or just play it on Monday. Try to finish out the last 2 scenarios. I hear Ronan is brutal. I'm actually really glad that this is the difficulty feels way more in line with what I would want it to be. Like, I'm used to playing everything on Expert, right? But Expert felt super brutal. Like, really, really hard in this. But Standard feels like Expert of everything else. So, you know, as long as it's, like, it's still fun, I'm enjoying it. So, you know, I'm totally fine with that. I do kind of feel for the people that liked to play on Standard before, because I don't know that there's a lot for them in this box, because it's probably too hard. But be that as it may, I'm going to call it there for the night. And let's see if there's anybody around to raid. But thanks for hanging out, y'all. Hopefully you have enjoyed the Galaxy's Most Wanted so far. I know I'm enjoying it. Hopefully our autofocus has been doing all right. I don't know. I wasn't paying the most attention to it. Has it been autofocusing? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll see y'all next time. And like I said, see if we got someone around to raid real quick. And y'all have a great night.